Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we've got another round of Champions Arena, where we're speed running through the expansion of 16 nations, trying to do at least 2 turns an episode to get through this, so we can get to the meat and potatoes, which is all the arena fights, which are happening in 5 turns from now. All right, message from early age Arko. Sorry, Wolf Tribe. I won't do it again. Yeah, he's lost 2 expansion parties to this Wolf Tribe. It was like an 80 stack of Wolf Tribe, which is just horrendous to try to run into with anything that's not very high protection. All right. From Pangaea, the old attack rear play on Therados was a success. I'm surprised Ashdod pushed into my cap circle given the rules. Each turn doing that is a turn you can't lay a perma flag claim on a different province. On that note, I only have 3 provinces I can realistically target. The easy province to my northeast, the Throne, and the Barb province near Atlantis. I'm going to gamble that Atlantis will not check the Barbs with their super combatant dude, instead beating Therados to the underwater province. That will give me a chance to consolidate and attack the Barb province. While I don't have any info to the north, it will be harder to reinforce there now. Site searching continues, unfortunately. Yeah, Pangaea, by the way, is I think number 2 in site searching. Unfortunately, no water yet, which means either a turn for blessing in the arena or painful alchemizing if I can't get if I can't trade gems for it. I'd have thought nature would be more popular. I guess he's having trouble trading. And then a message from Therados: "Come out with your copper arms up. We have you surrounded." I guess he's boxed us in. So we have. Oh, I can't click on it, but. I could probably... I forgot to shade this in. I can go back to it here, though. It's got it selected. But yeah, these guys are really hard to kill. They also have this spell, which, by the way... I mean, this is designed so people can't kill you, and you can't interact with the game. So, like, these guys are truly immobile, but they're Astral 10, Holy 10. And they start off with Omniscience Crush, which is area of effect 50 meteor, like Gifts of Heaven. And then Omniscient Blast, which is an area of effect 50 Soul Slay. Yeah. So I guess we put a copper arm on this and some kind of crazy weapon. He's at 5,000 hit points in regen. 100% regen. 31 MR. Come at 50 defense skill. Come at me, bro. Yeah, we don't even need that copper arm. All right, so let's start with Pangaea, because Pangaea was doing some play. Let's see what they were doing. Northeast of the Throne. Did he go here? Where did Pangaea go to the northeast? I'm not sure what he means. I don't think Pangaea expanded anywhere this turn. I can't find any evidence of it. Yeah, I think this was a no expansion turn for Pangaea. For Sarmatia, they went hog wild here. So anyway, that's that. They took. I thought it might be more. There's only 2 provinces this turn, but still, it's pretty good. They pinged this again. They've got some heavy cav they're going to have to deal with. But this, it looks like they're going to be able to get to this province with this group of raiders. Though it's a bit softened up from having all these long dead crushed. But they're probably going to stick their head over here and take this next turn. And they're going to get access to this turn as well. So I think they've got... Sarmashi's looking like they're in a pretty good spot. For late age Arko, they've expanded this way with their Bergmeister. And... they've taken this out. I guess they've combined forces here to come up this way. They're not really making any more troops, though. So I think they've switched over to making forts and labs and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, they're making a fort here. No fort here. So we'll see where they're making a fort, but I think they're done with making troops. The elves... continuing to expand pretty well. So they're doing that. I think they just took one province, but the elves are pretty good in terms of province count. They are, yeah, they're position 3. So, but did they? I think they took more. Oh yeah, they took another one up here. It's like there's no way they had a line that steep without taking at least 2 provinces this turn. So yeah, they're pretty big. They're pretty big. But yeah, we're back to Pangaea, who didn't expand this turn. Over here with Atlantis. Atlantis takes this. Heavy Cav even. It's pretty bold with the super combatant. Legions of Steel. Oh man. And the Aws negate the Lance Charge. I mean, he's 26 protection. That's pretty darn high. Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Yeah. Did they expand anywhere else? They're up here on land. So they've got 2 super combatants running around. They'll probably field another one, which will clear out some of this stuff. But they're also going to get a big piece of the Ubar pie, it looks like, because Ubar really struggling to expand. They had a bunch of camels that ran over here this turn. But aside from that, they've got some built up in their capital, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get any of this waterfront territory. It looks like Atlantis is probably going to be able to shut them down. And I don't think these camel riders are going to have anything to say to a Basalt King if they do bump. Unfortunately, though, Pelagia is not really able to go on land. So, you know, they're not going to be able to come up here and get a piece of the Ubar pie. Speaking of Pelagia, where did the Kraken go? The Kraken can sneak. I don't recall the Kraken dying. It's possibly, where did the Kraken go? It's possible he snuck him out. Turn 8. Did the Kraken die somewhere? Oh no, he was here. Okay, I think he just snuck out. I think he just snuck somewhere, so we didn't get to see him move. Which is a little surprising. I guess he had some things he wanted to do to get ready for the first arena. Or like maybe, I don't know, maybe site searching or something, I don't know. But I would have kind of expected him to continue expanding, but I guess not. So anyway, that's that for Pelagia. For Therados, they have had yet another bump, which they have lost. Therados is not really super well equipped to handle Dione. And this guy has cast Blessing and Skeletal Body, which is not a lot. But, I mean, how are these ghosts going to hurt him? That is the real question. Appears they're not going to. Fortunately for Therados, the silver lining is they did not lose their Melia. But yeah, Yomi telling the ghost to stay back in the water. They did successfully take this out, though, so that's nice. Therados, you know, they have some interesting options. Melia can make decent thugs, so I don't know how they'll hold up in an arena-style format. I mean, they can also do things like Swarm. And I don't know how Crab Claws is going to do. So we'll see. I'm kind of interested to see what Therados does. It's, you know, if they, I think they have a hero they can get to that's a Telkeen that will be really good. I don't know if they will. They have Misfortune 3, so they won't be getting a hero. And summoning them will probably be beyond the scope of this game, since I think it's like Conjuration 8 or something. So we'll see. And then we're back to Atlantis. So, yeah. Coming over here to Helheim. We have more Helheim expansions. And, yeah, so it looks like he took 2 more provinces. Oh, 3 more provinces this turn. Took this one, too. Did we have a bump here? No? So Helheim, I think, securing their place is position 1. Yeah, with another 3-party expansion this turn. It almost looks like 4. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's just 3. But anyway, very solid expansion from these guys. And the Frostfather just plugging away at research. Next up for Niflheim, they're expanding with some Long Dead and some Jotun boys. Over here, they're expanding with these dudes. Over here, they're expanding with a really budget force of a Gaija and just a few long dead. This is kind of cool. Skelly spam. Well, that's cool. That was very successful. So yeah, I think this is a great turn for Niflheim. They had 3 expansions, it looks like. Yeah, they went from middle of the pack to top of the pack in 1 turn. How about that? Very good turn for them. Coming down, we have Gath. Gath had been on the struggle bus. So they've gotten something that's outside of their cap circle. That's noteworthy. Arko is looking like they're going to probably take almost all of this, though. They did get, this turn, Duran's Heavy Cav, which is exactly what they need. Problem is, I don't know if they can actually contest any of this. Like, they come out here and hit this. They could contest this. Which, you know, it's a copper deposit. It'd be kind of good for them to get. But yeah, they might be able to contest these 2. I mean, Arko could just go here and control these. So, we'll see. It's going to... Oh, there's a Titan site. Primeval Forest. So we'll see what they do. They don't really have a ton of options. They could come down here and try to take this Troll Province. But we'll see. I mean, they're at least guaranteed their cap circle. Yomi, we already saw this bump with Therados. They have softened this up with some raiding. They've got some dudes down here. I don't think they had a bump with Helheim. Nor was there a bump here with Asphadel. So yeah, it looks like only 1 turn for one province's turn for Yomi, but they're set up to take probably 2 or 3 this next turn. Maybe even 4. And that's it for this column. Over here with Asphadel, they've expanded over here like we just saw. They're site searching with their gods. There's a Dryad here. I think these gods are researching. I'm not totally sure. We don't really see more expansion coming out from them in the south. So I'm not sure what they're doing. Ooh, man, this... Oh my goodness, this is such a good province. If they knew that, they need to go ahead and get that. That's 3 gems a turn just for taking it. It's like a third of Mother Oak. Okay, so anyway, Asphadel looks like just 1 expansion party this turn. Hinnom. Hinnom's been a little bit pinned in. They didn't have great expansion, but they also suffered from having neighbors who expanded really well. Like Arko. Basically, both of the Arkos have expanded really well. And Niflheim was no slouch either. Asphadel has not expanded in their direction. And nobody seems to be taking advantage of the kind of slow expansion in this direction. So anyway, that's that. And then we have Arko, who's expanded over here real close to Gath. We were already talking about all the ways they could run. They have expanded. They've decided to leave the Wolf Tribe alone this turn, which is nice. I don't see more expansions for them this turn. I think they had a very slow expansion turn, actually. Yeah, this is just a 1 province expand. Coming down, we have Ashdod, who'd been expanding very aggressively towards Pangaea, and I think they have some... I think they've lost... They had their prophet survive, but they've lost some of their other commanders. I don't think they had any bumps down here, but yeah. Oh, they had a battle here with some Seshai Anakites. I think that's it. So we'll see. They're expanding, I'd say, pretty slowly. I think this was another 1 expansion turn for them. Oh, a 0 expansion when you factor in that this got taken by... wait, where is it? This got taken by villains, so that's a zinger. And we finished that column. Coming over to the elves, TNN... they've expanded up this way, taken these barbs out, and they're working their way to enclose this throne province, but there's a Basalt King here. Who probably could take this, honestly. I mean, he'll probably... Actually, I don't know. This very likely will be Skelly Spam, and that probably will kill a Basalt King. So I take that back. Unless he has Earth Power. If he can do summon Earth Power, there's probably a chance he could fight his way through all this. But lizards are also kind of hard to super combatant. So we'll see. I think it depends on what research they have. We can definitely take out this deer tribe. And then, yeah, they expanded down here, took out these Jade Amazons. And I think these would be pretty welcome paths. I can't remember if... I think they get nature water access. Yeah, they do. So, Jade Amazons aren't super special for Tirnanog, but they're fine. And then coming down, we have Late Age Arko. And they have expanded over here once. And I think that's about it. I think that's it. And so then for Sarmatia, yeah, I think we've already talked about them, haven't we? I could have sworn to God we talked about them. Because I remember this. Yeah, they've got this cordoned off. Maybe we've done this. I feel like we've already done part of this. Yeah. So I think that's basically it for this turn. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. I'm kind of itching to get to the actual arena part. We're close. Message from Pangaea. Win some, lose some. I thought TNN wouldn't jump those barbs there, but they did. We'll turn off troop recruitment soon. Just needed enough to clear the cap circle and maybe a throne now. From Helheim, I thought I might take a minute to outline my build. My general plan is consistency, aiming for a strong thug each round. The basic kit should be something like a great sword of sharpness, chainmail of displacement, copper plate, mistletoe garland, har helmet, stone bird, bracer, jobs bowl. Then getting up to enchantment 5 and mixing in some caster builds with double lifelong protection. Well, I guess enchant 5... Yeah, I mean, you also have to get construction 4 to get the lifelong protections. As to progress so far, expansion's been solid. Yeah, I would say that. You're position 1. Thera's been trading for all my death gems, which is handy. I've got a nice earth gem event a couple turns ago, which means I've been able to make an early hammer. Oh, that's really nice. I have just finished building a lab on my Amazon province so I can start recruiting Shade Sorceresses to work on my water nature income. Oh, and I somehow lucked out and got Loki already. Misfortune all the way. Yeah, Loki is... I forget. He has pretty cool paths. I forget what they are, though. I think it's like air and blood or... I can't remember. I'm sure we'll get to see him at some point. But, yeah, that's super cool. All right. So, we're going to speed through expansion even more than we've been doing. I'm going to try to finish expansion this turn. So, we're just going to... I'm not going to click on everything. Ubar looks like they expanded once here. Pelagia expanded here. Lost most of his Shark Tribe Tritons, but these guys go berserk so they don't rout. We probably see the Kraken. Yeah, the Kraken has reappeared in the capital. He snuck there last turn. And it looks like this turn he's here researching or forging or something. We've talked to Ubar. Ooh, Atlantis came into the Ubar cap circle. That's kind of spicy. I guess the nice thing about doing this is that if he thought Ubar was going to expand up, he's basically guaranteed himself getting these two. So even though he kind of wasted a turn doing this with his dude, he's guaranteed getting both of these. So Ubar really struggling. I feel like with Ubar 2... Oh, he has no scales. I feel like you probably make the Jinn. Because you're not... The Jinn, I mean, you can't make a lot of them with this bad of income. And they are really expensive, but they do expand really well. They do expand real well. I think like a few camels and Jinn is like very solid expansion. Anyway. They're... Yeah, I don't know. They're going to have enough stuff, they'll be fine. But it's not great. Definitely not great. Was there a bump here? No. Okay. Helheim also taking this, just leaving no room at all for Ubar. At all. And then Atlantis, they've got these Shamblers of the Deep, who are basically like normal Shamblers, except they also have a bite. They're expanding over here. I was kind of expecting another super combatant to roll out this turn, but I guess we'll see that guy next turn. Ooh, this is his god, too, so we can take a look at him. Oh my goodness, look at all that. What were all the things that were part of the Bless? Shock resistance 15. fire resistance, cold resistance, fate weaving, chill our charged bodies. Wow. Fate weaving region, yeah. God, that is a lot of paths. Holy shit. Okay. And then yeah, he had this other guy go take out these deer tribe. I think he would probably ping this, because he probably has a shot at taking this throne real early. But he'll probably go here this turn. So anyway, that I think is Atlantis. And then over here, Therados, it looks like they aren't doing anything. They've really lost a lot of parties to these bumps. So he's probably going to come over here and hit these, and then he probably needs to do some site searching. He's got a fort that's going up here. And then Pelagia, we've already looked at them. So over on this front, we've got Yomi continuing to do Dione expansion. And yeah, Yomi with the triple expand this turn. And they tried to do a quadruple expand. Ooh, a quintuple expand. Wait, how did they even hit this? Were these guys sneaking? I think they were sneaking. Huh. Well, this failed, and then they lost the bandit leader, etc., in the retreat as well. So a bit of a facepalm here for Yomi, but they still, from the graphs, it's not a bad looking turn for them. They went from like middle of the pack towards top of the middle of the pack. But they lost a bunch of expansion parties, so that's a bit of a zinger. A bit of a zinger. Gath rolling out with Durin's heavy cav. And Arko moved up here and took this. So now I think the question is, the nice thing about killing Zots is a lot of times you want to bunch these guys up on hold an attack around your commander. That's going to be good against the Wind Riders too. So, yeah, we'll see. I think Arko can either go for this one or for this one, depending on what they want to do. But yeah, this other group's here. I thought they were going to hit the trolls this turn. I don't know why they didn't. But it's also possible they want to combine and take this. But they're going to have a bunch of things that are going to be harder. Like, this is a hard expansion. This is hard expansion. They'll be able to come up here and take these blowpipe dudes pretty easily. But Gath definitely struggling here. And then we have Niflheim, which I don't think they expanded this turn. I think it was a flat turn for Niflheim. Yeah, flat turn. I don't think they staled. I think they just didn't expand. And then Helheim takes another one here, another one here, another one here. This looks like another triple expand for Helheim. Yeah, the exact same slope. They triple expanded last turn. They're pulling very far ahead in number 1. And then we have Yomi, which we've already looked at. They had a triple expand. Coming over here to Asphadel, they've expanded once. And I'll kind of check some of these just to see if we have a bump or something. But yeah, I think this is a single expand for Asphadel. For Ashdod, they had an expansion here. And it looks like they failed an expansion here with some Anakites. We'll look at this, because these Anakites are pretty tough. And we've seen them take out these heavy cav before. And it looks like he had a strategic retreat from his commander so that he wouldn't die if this went south, and it did go south. That's a bit of a zinger. It's a really good province. It's a silver mine on top of a high pop province. So it's going to be unfortunate, and honestly, I think these Bakemono can probably take this. Bakemono do pretty okay against heavy cav. They're not going to do great against the archers here, but I think the Bakemono could actually take this. Be a little close. So yeah, I think just the single expand for Ashdod. But they're fine. They were already in a top position. I think they're just kind of stagnating a bit, right? Oh, no, they're kind of in the... Yeah, they're right here. So they're bottom of the middle of the pack. And then this is early age Arko, and they expanded here and here. And they've kind of stopped Wind Rider production a little bit, which is really unfortunate because, there's still some more stuff for them to take. But there you go. And then Hinnom, they have been basically pinned into their cap circle now. They could make a play going for some of these, but it looks like they're not even going to bother. They've got some Avite light infantry and swordsmen. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, there's no real point to have them in your capital. You might as well go out and like try to take this with them. So, not sure what they're doing, but we'll see. And we've covered Asphadel. Coming over here to Late Age Arko, they've expanded right up close into to Hinnom stuff. Gotten right up in their business. And Tirnanog coming over here. So, but I think it's a double expand for Late Age Arko. So that's fine. Kind of par for the course. I feel like if you're doing a double expand, you're doing okay. If you're doing a single expand, it's a little rough. If you're doing a triple expand, you're in the money. But again, that's not what the game is. The game is about winning the arenas. Tuatha Warriors expand over here. They expand here. And so it looks like a double expand for Tirnanog. And then we have, again, no expansions from Pangaea. We have an expansion here from Sarmatia. And these guys went north. I thought they were actually going to go here. But I guess they figured Pelagia is less likely to take this. So anyway, they've got their flag planted on a good number of provinces. I think they're middle of the pack now pretty solidly. Yeah, they're right in the middle of the pack. So yeah, Sarmatia is looking pretty good. And it looks like they're still making some stuff out of their capital. But they've got enough of these long dead and cataphracts. I fully expect for them next turn to come hit these. So we'll take a look and see how that plays out next turn. And yeah, we've already looked at Arko, who did his double expand. And then I think we've also looked at Ubar and everything else. So we've got a couple more turns to do. We're going to try to get through them this. Because I'll be honest, I really just want to get into the meat and potatoes. Message from Ashdod. With that, I think expansion's just about done, just cleaning up a few provinces left and maybe taking another shot at the Knight province. Overall, Anakite expansion he lost a bunch of Anakites this past turn, as we saw. Overall, Anakite expansion didn't go as well as testing typically indicates, and accidentally taking a bit of Pan's cap ring, and the indie attacks have hurt it. So I'm behind where I'd like to be for gold income. Likely this amount of income can sustain 3 forts comfortably for research, possibly 4, so that's my next priority. Pan's cap ring has also been left with 0 PD for them to retake at their leisure. That's pretty nice. You do have the option if you take somebody's cap ring to defend it, but if they ever take it from you, then it's theirs for forever and you can't take it back. What remains now is to get ready for arenas, start dragging research into shape, probably focusing a lot more on the latter than the former for now. Okay. So, not a lot of expansions. We'll go through this super duper fast. Pelagia, nothing. Ubar, they've taken this out and lose a bunch of camels. We see Atlantis coming over here and locking in this province. So that's nice. And I probably need to let people know they can take stuff back in their cap circle. I don't know if they... Maybe they just feel risky because the guy could have parked the Salt King here and just killed whatever he sent to take it. Yeah, it's just 1 PD. He should send something. So, yeah, anyway. There's Ubar. Here's Atlantis. Yeah, they expanded this way. I'm surprised they didn't ping this. I would totally ping this if I were Atlantis, just to see what's here. Getting the Crystal Throne would be real nice, too. Getting that Astral to site search would be really good. Therados, they expanded over here, which is nice. They had a big pile of ghosts in their capital, but there's really nothing. I think expansion for Therados is done. And Pelagia, we've looked at, they're done. Yomi with 1, 2. They try for 3, but they're not successful. And they tried here, and they're not successful. There was, by the way, somebody did a guide on basically expanding only with Bakamoni for Yomi. You can do it. It's not you can't. I think it's pretty bad compared. I think you get stomped if you do that in an early age game. But you can do things like you can do Strength of Giants on these guys, and they can be pretty good. And you can have a lot of them early potentially. I don't know. I think there's worlds it could work. I think I would rate it as a meh build. But part of the problem is you just have like a pretty big income Malice as Yomi. Anyway, but you can see here, even against like moderate PD, these guys struggle. They are stealthy though. They are stealthy. All right, so it looks like 2 expansions for Yomi. Okay, killed some elephants here, so that's pretty good. I didn't know there were elephants. They weren't showing up in my scouting report, but we'll watch this. We haven't watched a battle in a while. Stupid elephants. Yeah. Oh, and the imps come in and save the day. Oh my gosh, if those imps didn't come in, it'd be over. Oh, I think these imps were getting summoned the whole time. Oh, they just didn't go for the elephants. They jumped on top of the archers, or the slingers. Did these guys do imp reinvigoration imp? No, they just did double imp. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to do it, too. Well, good for him bringing these mages. If he didn't bring these mages and do those imps, he would have totally lost this, so... Hard province. You know, Gath got some pretty tough provinces, but, yeah, he's kind of making a bit of a comeback now. Making a bit of a comeback. And Yomi's kind of failed in some of these expansions, so, you know, he could maybe even come down and contest some more of this stuff, which would be nice. Takes the Zots out. Arko chose to move to the northern province, so... Yeah, you know, expansion's winding down. He probably is going to get to take this and maybe this. And, yeah, Arko's basically done expanding, and he can take this at his leisure. So, yeah, things are looking pretty okay. I mean, not great, but, you know, stable at least for Gath. And, you know, you don't need to be huge in this game to have a good shot at winning. And then here we have Niflheim expanding with Nifl Giants. These guys are such badasses. Look at this. Regen, Unholy Weapons, Defense 3, Attack 4. Yeah, 20 defense, 20-something protection. And these guys are probably, like, already asleep. Yeah. They're, like... so... Chillar is so strong. Yeah. You honestly probably only needed one Nifl guy with the Yod. Expands again over here, so that's 2. Pings this. All right. So that's 2 expansions. That's not bad. Helheim, has he finally stopped? Has somebody put an end to his madness? I don't see where he is over here. I think he had a group here. Maybe he stealth moved them back or something. So... I think that's the first term... Oh, no, he expanded over here. So a single expansion for Helheim. Let's see if the graph validates that. Yeah, just a single expansion for Helheim. And Yomi, we've already looked at them. Coming over to Asphadel, they had some villains come and lay siege to one of their forts. It looks like there's another lab. It looks like we're going to get another Bramble Fort put up this turn. Were there any bumps? No. Tirnanog took the Cynocephalians out. Asphadel not doing much in terms of further expansion. He does have this. This province blocked so that only he can expand there. He's got it encircled. Cordoned off. Not sure the best phrase for that, but yeah, and then he's got this. So we'll see. I think Asphadel is actually in a pretty good spot. They've got really high gem income, and yeah, they're looking fine. They're definitely not the biggest. I think they're probably bottom of the middle of the pack, but yeah. See, they even went down a little bit from having that fort under siege, but gem income, they're top of the pack, and that matters a lot. And they've got some of the best fort timings. I think they're fine. And I think Asphadel is actually very strong in this format. Just the Skelly spam, and then yeah, I think there's just a bunch of strong stuff they can do. Anyway, I also think the Unholy Bless on his vines is going to be super cool. I think Kirby's playing them too, which means I always love watching Kirby play. Okay, and then we've got Ashdod. I think they're mostly done. Minotaur Lords, was this a sacrifice? A ritual sacrifice? Get rid of this prophet? No? Not sure what that was about. Okay, and then Arko, early age Arko, one more expand over here, and I think that was it, unless there was a bump. Okay, there was a bump. Oh boy, all right. So we have some mercs and some windlords coming in. And the mine burns are getting popped. So they got a couple of these cab with the mine burns. Oh, they won. You wouldn't have I would not have expected this. I guess they hurt enough of the windlords that with the mine burn that they ran. They failed the morale check. And then also just where they landed, they're gonna have to eat the lance charges from these guys too. But that guy got yoinked by a mine burn. Why are these guys running though? I think they got HP routed when Yeah, they got HP routed. The army of Arko ran while these guys ran afterwards. Yeah, they just got... yeah, so... this was actually... the problem here was actually the chaff, not the Wind Riders. Go figure. And then Sarmatia hits it. Some Long Dead and some archers. Oh, they got some vampires too. That's pretty badass. I guess this was from an event. There's not really an easy way to get vampires. Oh, it's from the queen. She spawns them. That's really cool. So that's that. For Arko. Hinnom, we don't see any more action. Oh, they've moved this army that was in their capital out, so they're going to come probably try to take this. And probably will bump this. I don't actually know who will win. These Heart Companions are pretty mean. Okay, so that's that column. If we come over here and we look at this column, we've got Late Age Arko. They expanded over here. They expanded south of their capital. And yeah, they're looking pretty good. I think they're middle of the pack. Oh, they're top of middle of the pack. Okay. Yeah, they're looking real good. Coming down, we've got Sarmatia. They expanded over here like we saw. They expanded south. Lost a bit of Long Dead. But Sarmatia, they've made a pretty big claim for themselves. I think they're also top of middle of the pack. Yep. They'll probably have some forts up. Pelagia is not making any moves after this, so we'll see if they get all of this stuff here. But it looks like they're probably going to take this army with the cataphracts and slam it into this heavy cav, and maybe bring some reinforcements over here and then hit this province with the or they could possibly take this with just this group and then use the cataphract reinforcements to help take out this horse tribe. But then they'll basically be done, except for taking this out, which shouldn't be too hard. So anyway, they're about done. Coming down, we have Pangaea. Okay, here's where they sacrificed the Minotaur Lord, a ritual sacrifice. They also haven't taken this back, even though it only has 1 PD, which you would think you would at least scout or something, because they can get the little bird scouts. They might not know the rules that you can take a province in your cap circle. So I need to make sure we're on turn 14 now in the game, and I've finally started recording. So I will send a note to the game chat if there's people that haven't taken stuff in their cap ring back, because people don't always read all the fine print in the rules. And yeah, TNN being basically elves, they've taken this. Elves are very good against indie troops. They've got the Freak Lord running around site searching. Hopefully we see him twice born and then come back as a white mage. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I think just one province's turn for TNN. And that brings us back to Late Age Arko, which we've seen. And then the camels, I think we saw this. Yeah, we've seen all this. So I think we're done for this turn, which means we are going to go ahead, even though it's getting kind of late, and we're going to do turn 12, because guys, this is going to be the last episode we do of just expansion. I want to get to the meat and potatoes, but I want y'all to be able to see this if you want to. So I don't have any problem doing a long episode here. I wonder what the odds are on Atlantis PD dumping my cap circle. I don't know, but I'm going to hope he didn't. With my awful expansion, I'm regretting my nation pick, but hopefully I can do better in the arena. Yeah, there's a good chance. Especially in a 16-person game, people aren't really going to be building for Ubar. I think they're going to be building primarily for other things. So I'll start with Ubar since he sent us a message. Okay. He took this. Oh, he's using Djinn Warrior now, which I think is great. I think this is probably how I would have done expansion to start with. There's a few Djinn Warrior with some Camel to kind of provide cover fire. The birds just being there for a little bit to let the Djinn Warrior kill a few things before everybody turned on the Djinn Warrior. And then they also have enough armor they can, and being ethereal, that the archer fire from the Camel Riders generally doesn't hurt them. So, anyway... Yeah, they had a successful expansion. Atlantis came over here and took this, so he's got the full coastline, which is really nice for Atlantis. TNN got hit by Indies. Oh, we have Atlantis moving up like he's going to go for this throne. This guy was here last turn, so that's kind of cool. He's taken this with his god. And Helheim has taken this with a bunch of Hellherdings. There's an army of them. This is going to be probably enough to take this throne out. So I'm fully expecting Helheim to hit this throne next turn. Theridos still has some Indies in their cap circle, so hopefully he'll be getting those in the coming turn. But he's got his first fort up, and he's been trading, as I believe we were told, for a lot of death gems. So I guess you get philosophers or something with those guys. I'm not really an expert. But I'm guessing his research actually is pretty okay. We'll take a look at the research graph real quick. Oh yeah, he's #1 in research. How about that? So yeah, he's just slamming research. So that's kind of cool. Maybe he's going to get a Telkine before the game's over. That would be really interesting. Pelagia, not really doing anything. Ubar, we've covered. Coming over to this column, we've got Gath taking over their cap circle. Yeah, I mean, Gath is kind of... I think they've mostly recovered now. You know, Yomi has taken most of this border, but, you know, they've got most of their core lands. They're probably going to be able to come over here and take this, and then take this. So, yeah, I'd say they've recovered. That's cool. To the north, we have Niflheim. I don't think Niflheim expanded this turn. I think this was a flat turn for them. I think they had a flat turn last turn. I wonder, are they staling? Oh, no. Oh, wait, that's research. Oh, no, it's just one turn of... So they had no movement, expansion, and then movement. Okay. So we'll see. They've basically got some barbs to kill. Barbs, by the way, are not really that big of a problem for Niflheim once you get like 4 or 5 Nifl giants. Usually, with the region blessed, the barbs usually aren't going to be able to kill them before they fall asleep. And then, yeah, Helheim... expanding like crazy. We know they had at least one. Here's another expansion, so I think they're at 2 expansions this turn. Let's see if that's what it looks like from the map. Yeah, there's a 2 expansion turn. So they're looking very fierce. Yomi, yeah, they had 2 expansions this turn as Yomi. And then a failed expansion here. Yomi just is... Their eyes have just consistently been a tiny bit bigger than their stomach. Or, well, then they're... Yeah. Maybe that's the way to say it. But they still are pretty big. They're in 3rd place for province size. So it's worked out for them. And then we've seen Gath. And then coming over to this column, we have Asphadel, who I was expecting to see a new fort this turn, but we haven't seen it. So maybe they're researching or something, getting ready. They did clear this off with some garbage. They expanded over here. Got a Bone Tribe province, which could be pretty good. I guess it's a way to get an air path for Asphadel. And then they expanded down here. So double expansion for Asphadel. Not a bad turn for them. And then for Ashdod, I think they're basically done. They still have some things in their cap circle to get, but it looks like they're going to get them in their own time. And... Ooh, there was a bump here. Well, let's go ahead and watch this. So we have Sarmatia. They first hit this heavy cav with... Okay. So they had the Long Dead that ate the lance charges, and then they had the Cataphracts, which were going to run in, and Raiders as support. But you can see the Long Dead are mostly dead now to eat the lance charges. And these are not White Centaur, these are just normal Centaur, except for this guy. Oh, but there's these flankers. Oh, and they kill it. But there's enough of these guys berserk. Oh, nope, Sarmatia gets it. So this was just these Raiders doing serious work on the flanks. And I think they actually got their... I think they had tattoos put on them as well. We'll look at this. Oh, the Vampire Queen was here. What was the Bless, by the way? Undying 12. Wow. Blood Surge. Yeah, the flankers just did serious work here. They hardly lost anything, and they killed a bunch of Centaur. That's really painful for Pangaea. And Pangaea still hasn't taken their cap circle back. Now, it's a lot less painful losing a big party at the end of expansion, but, you know, it does mean, well, this is cap circle too, so. Anyway. Yeah, I think we finished this column. The Wind Riders, they took this. I think Early Age Arko just took one more province. Oh, they took two more. They bumped Yomi, killed some Bakemono, which I don't think is going to surprise anybody. And this is Hinnom. Oh, so Hinnom actually finally went and moved out, which is nice to see. They went and took this, but unfortunately they got attacked by wolves here. So they're a little bit treading water in terms of province count. And I think the army was here the previous turn. I was thinking it'd be nice for them to come up here, but I guess they didn't want to bump Arko. So this army from Arko moved this way, and they were apparently happy to bump Hinnom. But instead Hinnom moved this way. So they are completely boxed in now, and expansion's basically over. So yeah, they'll be able to come back and take this, but they're going to be stuck at about 8 provinces for the rest of the game. They barely even have access to thrones. So, like, Arko's completely prevented them from getting to this throne, and they can barely get to this one, and they cannot get to this one. So, thrones can be a nice way to get your gem income up or improve your bless, which can be relevant in the arena. And then we have Asphadel, who I think we already looked at. They did a double expand. Okay, coming over, we already looked a bit at Sarmatia. They had these expands over here where they bumped Pangaea in one. They also took this province out with these Lancers and Raiders. And let's see, I'm kind of interested to see how he did this fight. I think they're on hold and attack. Yeah, they're on hold and attack. So they did a few arrows and then they run in. And the Lancers actually have run, but the Raiders are staying. And they're going to clean up. So there we go. So they've taken that, and indeed he did move these Lancers, it looks like, over here. So they'll probably hit this province together. But yeah, this is a triple expand for Sarmatia. So I think this is going to put Sarmatia at the top of the top of the middle of the pack, very top. Yeah, they're tied for position 3 now. So that's really good for them. And yeah, I mean, Sarmatia can have phenomenal research too. It can just be a really strong nation that can get research real fast. And the Witch Kings are going to be great in the arena, I think. They're just really good chassis. Do a lot of different things. So that's super cool. Late Age Arko got attacked by knights here. That's a bit of a zinger. Do they have warning? They did have... Oh no, they had no warning. So that's annoying for them. I don't think they expanded, did they? I don't see any signs of Late Age Arko. Just this one. Just this one. They still have a few provinces they could go after. Like this one I think is pretty much guaranteed to them. They've got a group of hoplites, heart companions here that are probably going to go after that, but we'll see what happens. And then TNN continuing to expand. So that's that. Pangaea, you know, they've suffered this loss over here to Sarmatia. But it doesn't look like they have too much going on for expansion. They've got a bunch of dudes here. A Legacy of Grippa. I guess they're hanging out in their capital. They don't know they can come out and take this 0 PD province for free whenever they want to. But I guess they're going to come try to take these Horse Tribe out. They're also not really taking advantage of the Bramble Fort's like Asphadel is. So they totally could have their first fort up, slamming more units, just using the nature income they get from their cap. So maybe there's some reason for that, like they wanted to use the nature income for something else, but I have a feeling it's a pretty good idea to get your first fort up with those nature gems. And, you know, you can maybe do something different with the... you know, I don't think there's a ton of things like swarm casting or something in the arena, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's totally worth spending the nature gems on the first fort. But that's that column, and I think we've already done this one. And that means that we've probably skipped some things. I know we've skipped a few turns, but we are ready now to go to the actual meat and potatoes portion of this, which is the actual arena battles. You know, I thought about whether to even record the stuff leading up to it, but I figured why not. So tune back in next time, and we will have the actual arena battles. I think I have 2 turns for you to do, so we'll do that, and I'll see you there.